Miriam Kumwembe with Business Time on Times Television, courtesy of Sky Band. This is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And in the program today, Malawi mourns former finance minister and RBM Governor Matthews Chikaonda. And in other business news, rising prices worry MCCCI. And also in the program, Malawi to review contract farming. We have these and other stories.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
Hello and welcome, and we start with a rather sad story. A dark cloud has befallen Malawi following the demise of its former finance minister and RBM governor, Professor Matthews Chikaonda. Chikaonda, a distinguished economist with a full tray of accomplishments, died Tuesday morning at Loma Linda University Medical Center in California, United States of America. He succumbed to cancer at the renowned Seventh-day Adventist Hospital and Cancer Center. Chikaonda served as professor of finance between 1998 and 1994 at the Memorial University of Northwestern Canada, and then served as deputy governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi and then governor before he was appointed to the cabinet and served as government of Malawi's Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development in January 2002, and then later joined the conglomerate Press Corporation Limited. Now, in other business news, Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, has warned that rising commodity prices would greatly affect this year's economic growth prospects for Malawi. MCCCI says the economic gains made during the year are being threatened by rising price emanating from upward revisions of fuel prices, electricity tariffs, and water tariffs. In its third quarter economic review released yesterday, the chamber maintained a lower estimate of gross domestic product growth for 2018 to slow down to 3.6%. We have the detail in this report.
The estimate is 3 percentage points higher than the International Monetary Fund (IMF) revised 3.3% GDP growth estimate. IMF earlier projected 4% growth in 2018 and 4.7% for 2019. Contrarily, the government estimates a GDP growth of 4.1% in 2018 and focus of 6% growth in 2019. MCCCI, however, warned that headline inflation is expected to continue rising as pressures would estimate from the 20% electricity-based tariff increase and 5% fuel pump price hike effected in October 2018, as well as pressure on maize. Malawi's inflation is threatening to run away as it has continued on an upward spiral in the past 3 months, hitting 9.5% in September 2018. MCCCI said the economic growth prospect is threatened by rising prices emanating from upward revisions of energy prices and lower agriculture production. In an interview, Dean of Social Sciences at the Catholic University, Gilbert Kachamba, said attaining a 3.6% growth target is a tall order. He said prevailing challenges in the energy sector is continuing to threaten growth prospects, hence need for a prompt solution. Economics Association of Malawi president said the prevalent challenges would imply that most players in the economy would scale down production and thus reducing economic activity and growth. He, however, said not all is lost yet. Malawi needs a GDP growth of at least 6% to maintain poverty levels and above 6% to reduce it.
The Tobacco Control Commission, TCC, has disclosed plans to review the performance of the integrated production system of farming. TCC Chief Executive Officer Kaisi Sadala said the commission is in the process of hiring an independent consultant to undertake the review. The review comes at a time the system has been rolled out for 6 years, generating mixed views from various quarters of the tobacco value chain. More in this report.
Sadala said the review will look at how the system has performed, benefits, as well as challenges encountered during the period. He said it is the wish of the Tobacco Control Commission that the hired consultant starts work on the review before the end of the year, so that by the first quarter of next year, they have a clear picture on the system. IPS is a marketing agreement that commits tobacco companies to buying predetermined volumes from a grower. Following the adoption of IPS in 2012, Malawi runs a parallel tobacco selling system at its auction, one for contracted buying companies and the other one open for other growers. Currently, 80% of Malawi's tobacco is traded under IPS, while the remaining 20% is sold under auction system. Supporters of IPS system believe the practice holds a promise to a brighter future for tobacco production in Malawi. They argue that IPS offers growers security and ensures a sustainable supply for tobacco companies. Opposers, on the other hand, believe that the system limits the freedom of producers as it restricts them on how much to produce and who to sell to. From Blantyre, this is Daonga Sabola.
The Millennium Challenge Corporation has handed over Pombeya substation to the government of Malawi at Pombeya in Neno district. Matilda Chimwaza has the whole story in this report.
Upon completion, the power substation would help improve power transmission capacity from the current 132 kilovolts to 400 kilovolts. The substation would be operational in 2 weeks. Minister of Natural Resources, Energy and Mining, Agli Masi, graced the occasion. He rated lowering of the substation as timely, saying it would help address the prevalent power shortages.
Mine is a word of thanks to the American people for the grant they gave us of $350.7 million in the energy sector. And here we are today at Pombeya substation. They're actually doing the final handing over. And I think if you can recall, last week we were at Nkoma in Lilongwe with the same type of function. And today here I am. And this time around the Vice President from USA, MCC, she's here with us just to witness the finalization and the handing over of this magnificent infrastructure here at Pombeya. It means a lot. That means part of this will get the power from Mozambique. Also the IPPs will come in and then can now do their job properly. At the same time, we have this infrastructure that will also make us, Malawi, to be part of the SAPP, South African Power Pool. So it means a lot to the nation.
Millennium Challenge Corporation Vice President is Jean Hawk.
We at MCC are so pleased to be here to celebrate the progress of this compact. What I've seen here today at Pombeya is exceptional. It is a marvelous installation, and it is part of all the great works that are helping Malawi to build the foundation for a modern power system. We are very satisfied with the work of MCA Malawi. They have done an excellent job of following through on the infrastructure that was planned by the project. They have completed things to a very high degree of quality on an excellent timeline. Well, for right now, we're so happy to be here to celebrate the accomplishments of this compact. And as for the future, that's determined by MCC's Board of Directors, which meets every December. So at that time, decisions would be made for any country which is eligible, and that would depend on several factors, including how well a country has implemented the first compact it has had, whether it is doing well and has a positive trajectory on the scorecard factors, and also whether that country has demonstrated a commitment to reform in certain sectors. The new scorecards are going to be released in early November. So all countries will be evaluated at that time, and then decisions would be made by the board in December. So we're very pleased with the progress that has been made. It is just marvelous to see these works here today, to see the culmination of the effort of so many of you here in Malawi over 5 years to make this possible. So this is a very impressive accomplishment.
The project was funded by the United States under the Millennium Challenge account. 4 Times, I'm Matilda Chumwaza.
Remember, this is Business Time here on Times Television, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country, courtesy of Skyband. And my name is William Kumwembe. We'll be right back.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about time.
Welcome back. The country's capital market on Thursday registered a new entrant in the name of Alliance Stockbrokers Limited. The coming in of the firm, which is owned by Alliance Holdings Group, brings the total number of stock-broking firms on the market to 4. Alliance Holdings chairman is Charles Chugan said the entry of the firm is an important milestone for further enhancement of Malawi's financial services industry and the economic development of the country. We have the detail in this report.
Chuka said Alliance Stockbrokers Limited has not come onto the market to make numbers, but to bring competition.
Alliance Capital Limited, as you know, is part of a group of companies. Actually, we have a number of companies. We have Alliance Holdings, which owns Alliance Capital Holdings, which owns, as of now, owns the Alliance Stockbrokers Limited. But the group also owns, as I said, Sycamore, because we have some shares in there. And then we have just approved today to also have a major stake in Smile Life. So it's a group of companies. And the aim is that to provide a whole gamut of financial services, right from fund management to raising capital for companies, for our clients, to pension funds management, to insurance products. So it's a whole range of products. And the idea is that with this kind of group, we can grow it and become and increase the competition on the ground. Because competition in financial services is everything for everyone. There are few big players around, but we think that to improve the services to the industry, we need to have another player on the table. So Alliance Group is the one bringing this added competition on the table so that people out there, investors, can have better services. It is very important to understand that when the economy is not stable, the risks that are involved in investment are very high. For example, the interest rate may, from perspective of investing, may be too high because the economy is not stable. So people are adding on risks of that instability on the interest rate, whether it's banks, whether it's these fund managers or anyone raising funds for you. They have to say, oh, what interest are you offering me? Because I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Suppose the kwacha depreciates, I will lose money. So what interest are you giving me? So that creates instability in the system. So the risks of investing in terms of how you determine the interest rate for a loan or for raising funds, it all is affected by instability. So when there is no certainty of the future, it is very, very difficult to agree on a deal. And also, because interest rates are very high, it's difficult for banks, for investors to find the money to do their business. Very high interest rates. When this macro economy is stable, you have a lowering of interest rates. And that lowering enables investors to do more business for the country.
Reserve Bank of Malawi Director of Capital Markets and Microfinance Supervision, Langes Sinoya, urged Alliance Stockbrokers Limited to take advantage of the gains registered in the economy to provide better financial services that will improve the well-being of Malawians.
It's a huge milestone on the part of the capital markets. it increases the number of stockbrokers to 4, which creates huge competition, and therefore investors will have options in terms of which broker to use in order to trade on the stock market. Biggest challenge we have is that investors are not forthcoming to issue equity as well as issue debt instruments on the capital market, and that has created limited number of financial instruments for investors to buy. That's the biggest challenge in our market. The solution remains to make investors aware of the opportunities that are available on the stock market, and that's the reason the Reserve Bank embarked on financial literacy program with a view to inform the general public on the opportunities that are available on the stock market. That's first. Secondly, we've been going around potential companies to list on the stock exchange, holding one-on-one meetings with them to entice them to issue debt as well as list on the stock market. That has been an ongoing program championed by the Registrar of Financial Institutions.
Malawi Stock Exchange Chief Executive Officer John Kamanga said the coming in of Alliance Stockbrokers Limited will help enhance competition among players on the market.
The coming in of Alliance Stockbrokers to the Malawi Stock Exchange, especially to the capital market community, is a welcome development in the sense that we now have 4 stockbrokers to the Malawi Stock Exchange. These are the members who actually also spread the news to the general public in terms of investment knowledge on the stock market, as well as also attracting new issuers, also advising them on how best they can utilize and access the stock market in terms of raising capital. So in that sense, we have now more sponsors. It means the issuers will have a good basket to shop from in terms of actually who would assist them better in terms of actually coming to the stock market. In so doing, it also improves in terms of competitiveness as well as efficiency on the delivery of the services to the general public. Because if you are many, you find that the investors have a wider choice as to who they can actually access for them to access those services on the stock market. So to us, it's a welcome development, and we look forward to working with Alliance Stockbrokers in terms of developing as well as operating the stock market.
For Times, in Blantyre, this is Dawanga Sabola.
Meanwhile, the group has also announced a 28% stake purchase in Smile Life Insurance Company. Smile Life Managing Director Sten Singo said the development would help the firm effectively compete with other players in the industry. He explains.
What this means is that Alliance Capital have bought some equity shares in Smile Life. Actually, by the end of this month, they will be pumping in 200 million, and by December or early January, they're expected to pump in an additional 300 million kwacha. With the 200 million, they will have a 28% stake in Smile Life, and when they pump in the 300 million, the additional 300 million, they will have slightly above 51%. What this means is that the balance sheet of Smile Life will be strengthened, and this will enable us go out and compete favorably with the other insurance companies that have been in this market for a long time. You may be aware that the people running Smile Life, in terms of technical expertise, they have that because we have been in the industry for more than 40 years, but our balance sheet was not that strong. So some of the people who wanted to give us business were doubting based on the balance sheet in terms of our capability to deliver. But the pumping in of this 500 million by Alliance Holdings strengthens our balance sheet, and therefore it brings confidence to the prospective insurer.
As we proceed with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. In other business news, the Blantyre Adventist Hospital has been awarded for quality improvement at the Global Health Conference that took place at Medical University in California, United States of America. The firm was among 40 institutions of Seventh-day Adventist churches worldwide that submitted a quality improvement story. The hospital's chief executive officer is Carl Kasinja.
So the story we were telling the world out there has to do with what is transpiring on the ground here. So you will see that all aspects are being addressed: paperless, cashless, new dental facility, painted OPD, and renovated and with well-equipped OPD, the hospital well-equipped, painted, smelling good. So all of those are translating to quality services to the patient. And ICU, top of the class, state of the art in this case, the laboratory, what have you, it translates to that one. So that document, when people saw it, they smelled something, they said, these guys are into quality improvement. It brings pride to the nation, doesn't it? Because when you talk of 44 countries and 40 institutions that are presented, for this hospital here in Malawi is a small nation to become #1. We should be proud of what we have done, isn't it? Because there was Asia there, the Caribbean, they were there. Our friends in Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mozambique were represented. You know, Angola, Madagascar, in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, they were there. I am telling you, so from Africa, almost every country was there and represented. Kenya. So to give you a list, so in from Africa, Ethiopia, all of those they were there. So just to give you from Africa, and we talk of Europe. Which country is this next to Russia? You know, the type of Ukraine. They were there. That's what I'm talking about. And when we scooped this, no, we stood tall. And we must be proud of what is happening here at Blantyre Adventist Hospital. We must be proud of our country because we represented it well.
Kasinja also assured that this was just the beginning in terms of what the hospital has to offer.
We have not stopped. That's why we want this story to continue. We want to continue getting this award. And so, patients, please, when you are here, give us a feedback. Don't complain and walk out without giving us a feedback. We benefit from the feedback. The moment you tell us, we want to address that one immediately. That's in this hospital. That's why I've opened that my office, my door, is open to patients who have complaints. Okay? There are people who are assigned to do that, but I am there, available, and I will do that. I will wake up, even if it means at night. I will come here and attend to your issues if you are not satisfied. So I'm 24/7 available in this case. That's what it means. So our story continues. It does not stop with this award.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time right here on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.
Now you can access the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times newspapers anytime, anywhere, by the click of a mouse or a swipe on your smartphone. With eTimes, right on your mobile gadget. Flip through the pages with a swipe or a click. Navigate through all pages and see clear pictures and designs. Access a database of previous papers of the Daily Times, Malawi News, and the Sunday Times. Easy. Subscribe now to eTimes. Go to www.times.mw/e-edition. Sign up and log in. Enter your password and enjoy the newspaper. It's about